Hello, viewer. It's great having you on the show today, and welcome to another edition. Thanks for joining us, and this is Viewpoint Talk Show where they talk am as e be. On today's edition, as usual, we will be talking about the latest trends and developments. We will also be looking at the underlying issues and challenges as we dive into the world of entertainment, health, education, politics, lifestyle, power of community, you just name it. All you have to do is sit back, relax, and engage in our conversations. I am Hadiza Galadima, and joining me in the studio today is Brown and Rachel.
Hello, Hadiza.
Hi. As usual, this show sparks meaningful conversations, inspire change within our community as we always engage in honest dialogue. And now, straight to the business of the day. Let's get started. In the words of Mark Twain, the secret of making progress is to get started. So we will be talking about up-to-the-minute issues in the country, and first we will be talking about Atiku's battle extension against Tinubu's presidency to U.S. courts. Also, we will be talking about mental illness. Later on the show, we will be talking about letting go of past traumas and embracing forgiveness for personal liberation. All this and more after the break.
Experience the acceleration of Oweleketv. Get the latest news from the glitz and glamour of the entertainment industry to the pulse-pounding realm of sports. We provide accurate and up-to-date information, exclusive interviews with top political analysts that will leave you craving more. Our team of professionals delivers captivating content from Nigeria and beyond. Follow us on our social media handles at Oweleketv. Visit our website at www.oweleke.tv for a thrilling journey. Oweleketv, rising star at the fairground.
Welcome back. This is Viewpoints, talk show where they talk as in B. In a bid to challenge the outcome of the firstly contested 2023 presidential election, Atiku Abubakar, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), has taken his fight against President Tinubu's victory to a court in the USA. The move comes as the nation awaits the verdict of the presidential election petitions in court on the matter. Atiku Abubakar approached a U.S. court in Chicago for an order compelling Chicago State University to release the academic records of Tinubu. The Chicago University says it will release the academic records of President Tinubu if a United States court grants the order. The university, in response to Atiku's application, said it does not understand why Tinubu's academic record could possibly have any bearing on the 2023 general election or challenge in a foreign country. So do you agree with the response from the university, like the Chicago State University, as regards the academic record not having, and they don't think it is going to have a weight as regards the election petition tribunal?
Okay, so personally, I think it does have weight. Yes, it has weight for this reason I'm going to be outlining. So first of all, as we all know, if you want to become president in Nigeria, I think your highest education qualification could be SSCE. But then if you come out to say, I have BSc or I have a degree or I have this also thing, if you lied about it, then it is an issue. Because of course, if you had come out to say, okay, it is SSC, nobody's going to flog you, nobody's going to start dragging you in court for that particular reason. But if you've come out to say, I have a degree, you should be able to prove that you actually have a degree. And if there are some, hitches here and there coming up thereafter, after you've said you have this thing, and then they are saying that it's not true, then yes, it is an issue that should be brought to the table. It is something that should be looked into. Because, so first of all, I want to bring it from this angle. Tinubu is saying, first of all, he said he has a degree from Chicago State University. And then again, he's coming out to say, okay, there were some errors in that certificate and it was made by the clerk. And I'm wondering, this thing is a very simple issue. If as a student in a school, you have issues with your certificate or you have issues with anything concerning your school or your schooling in that school, it is just normal for you to go and fix it. It is just normal for you to find a way around it. If you know you don't have any cockroach in your cupboard, there is just maybe a mistake from the school, you can as well go there and table your complaints. Okay, this is what I noticed. This is how can we fix it? And then you find a way around it. But coming out to say there are errors, in your certificate coming from the clerk. If there are errors and these errors are from the school, go back to the school and let them fix it. This is something that if they investigate into, they should be able to see what the errors are. They should be able to point out the errors and they should be able to say, oh, okay, this is a mistake from our past. Then we are sorry. They should come out public and say, we are sorry for this mistake. But if they investigate and they find out that there were no errors there. So the issue now is, first of all, does he really have a certificate from Chicago State University? If he does, he has mentioned that there are errors. What are those errors? Are these errors from the school? If they are from the school, then the school has to come out to publicly say these are the errors and these are mistakes from our end, because we're talking about Tinubu here. He's the president of the country. Whether they've done anything in the election procedures or not, INEC has named him president, even though Nigerians are not okay with it. And I'm hopeful that the judiciary is going to do the right thing. We've been talking about that, so let's not even go there now. But if there are errors, I think Chicago State University right now, as it stands, for the fact that this issue is in court, for the fact that this is a big thing, Atiku has come out to say, the opposition party has come out to say, this, if they can find out, they can bring out Tinubu's certificate, then all these brouhahas and all these issues going to die down. Then I think it is time for Chicago State University to come out. I don't even think they should wait for a court order. They mustn't even bring out a certificate. First, they should come out to say something. Okay, he was a student in our school, and truly there were errors, but with court order, we can proceed to do any other thing. Because this is a big issue on ground. It is not one person somewhere who has issues with school. This is Tinubu we're talking about. This is a country we're talking about. This is a government we're talking about. This is a nation. So this is like an issue between Nigeria and another country. And so I think it is time that school come out to say, yes, this is what is on ground. And yes, it has weight, because this particular thing now, it is speaking on its integrity. Because first of all, Nigerians are not even happy in the first place that this person is in this seat, because it is not his rightful position. He's not supposed to be there in the first place. And so if he's there, he should prove it, because this is not a small thing. I think it's time Chicago State University come out, openly.
So Brian, like she said, Rachel said, let's see if the judiciary is going to do the right thing, if they're going to do the necessary thing. So is it are you going to agree with the Chicago State University as regards if it pulls weight and if really the judicial system is actually working? Because if they are, then the opposition parties in the presidential election would not keep coming up with different petitions against the sitting president. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. The Chicago State University, right? In just like any other university, wouldn't come out to publish something without an order. That is why I think they demanded for a court order, because they know this is dealing with entities. Do you understand? So it is in the hands of the judiciary to now make the order for them to release the record. Now, coming about the Nigerian judicial system, we know that these folks has failed us so many times. I would want to put it in a more polite way. This is the best polite way I would put it. I think they are best in judging rights when it comes to do with the poor masses, other than these people who give them you get. So I would say about the result or the record, rather. What we're talking about, the president of Nigeria, what year was this study done? At what I'm trying to get to a point where we will all have to understand the ability and the depth of what we're dealing with. So we're talking about Tinubu here, who has been a public figure for quite a while. So at what year did he acquire this university, whatever, certificates in the Chicago? So we have to look at it through that track record. So let's say someone of his capacity, I don't know really how to dissect this because of time. Someone of his capacity, at what year? Is it something of 5 years, 10, 15, 20, or is it something of during his youth that he gained this thing that would say
1970 something.
1970 something.
Yeah.
So if someone of his caliber has an issue with his record, as person as him,
Yes.
should have sorted it, knowing fully well that he has intentions of running things like this.
Yeah.
So if you ask me, I would say there are skeletons in the cupboard.
Yeah.
Do you understand? An average Nigerian student would sort out their mess.
Yes.
Do you understand? So now that an opponent has come to say there is something not sitting well with the Chicago University and pushing rather to say this university should come out and bring out the record. Now, he has run to say there are some little things.
Yeah.
So don't you think that there are things there are some hidden things that someone has gone to, patch on them, and if care is not taken, a lot of things will go wrong. And mind you, this is Nigeria. The judicial system will not, I don't want to say might not, they will not do the right thing. They will not do the right thing, because if they are to do the right thing, in a good working country, they will not announce the president where they have a lot of chaos, a lot of people are
and
crying.
The president is already naming his ministers and all.
Do you understand? A lot of things are vivid. People are seeing things. So I think if the Nigerian judicial system want to do the right thing, they would have done the right thing since it's telling the Chicago University to start bringing out the records.
The Chicago State University is even saying they are going to wait for a court order from a court in the US.
A court in the US?
Yeah.
Okay, so who is going to order it? Who is going to do the order? Is it Tinubu or is it Atiku Abubakar? So who is going to order the court in the US?
It should be a court in the US, and it should be from Atiku.
Does Atiku have the power to do something?
No, maybe Atiku will just go and ask for it.
No, he actually went to ask for it. A court has to, approve of it. Yes,
before a court approves of it, someone will need to.
Atiku has already asked.
Okay.
This thing is out. So now it is for the court to decide if they want to give it or not. Yeah.
And the school is willing to give out the records.
Yeah.
They don't have a position. If they don't have a choice to pull it out, because it has to do with country, it has to do with, it's an evidence of something. Do you understand? So my own view about this is it might look very sarcastic, but then I don't think this might be a very concrete evidence to hold against him. Yeah, one. But then I don't know, this is politics. Sometimes I think different how people think about this politics thing. I think even the whole Atiku thing, maybe they are still pulling out this court thing just to buy more time and all of this. You can't tell. If the Nigerian judicial system wants to do the right thing, they should have done it right from the right time, the first time.
Let me just say this to wrap this up. See, politics is a dirty game. And for Atiku to come out to say, he made a statement. He said, if Chicago State University releases this certificate and they see his educational background, all of these things will die down. That means he knows something. He has done his own findings. You know how these people can be. They can be as, I don't want to use any word, but they can be as whatever. So for him to come out to say, if Chicago State University produces a certificate, all of these things will die down, then you should know that he knows something.
Okay, could it be that this whole drug saga thing, there's a record, do you understand? And there's a lots of, illegal things there, because it might not just be just a certificate thing, do you understand? Maybe let's see. Let's hope and see that the records will be out and we, the people, will see it in good faith.
Well, let's just wait and see. So you our viewers out there would love to have your take as regards what we just discussed right now. So do get involved in our comment sections. We'd love to hear from you. Let's go on a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay with us. Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Our next topic of discussion is mental health. Mental illness is a term used to describe a wide range of mental health conditions that affect a person's mood, thinking, or behavior. It is a prevalent issue that affects millions and millions of people, and some symptoms of mental illness include anxiety disorder, depression, bipolar disorder, and personality disorder. Each of these conditions has its own unique symptoms, causes, and treatment. Nollywood actress Chacha Fani founded Meticulous People Foundation, a foundation which is created in creating awareness and shedding light on the importance of mental health. The mother of 4 has recently disclosed her battle with bipolar disorder and how the mental illness almost destroyed her home. Because even days back, we saw the husband coming out to talk about what it felt like living with someone with mental illness, and he said he had to reach an extent whereby he said he was told to sacrifice a goat, and blaming religion on the act, because I think he's saying that as regards, mental illness is an issue you just have to seek help medically and not relying solely on religious leaders and all that. And he said something about religion doing more harm than good in the society. So we want to know, what are some of the is mental health a misconception or is it a myth?
Okay, coming from religion aspects, I would say he shouldn't have said religion have done more harm than good, because it's some of these uncalled men of, I wouldn't say men of God, because they are the ones that call themselves. So they've turned this religion thing into a playground. Because I don't see how someone that says he's a man of God cannot have sanity and the fear of God to do some certain things, to actually speak some certain words from his mouth. Do you understand? So diving into the mental aspect of this thing is, a lot of things have gone wrong in the religious aspect. Mentally deraining people. Some of these people who has called themselves they've put this mental disorder into people, making them believe that things can be done through sacrifice, through doing. If you are hungry and you need goats to be slaughtered in your house, come on, you come out and say they should give you food, rather than saying come and do a sacrifice where they will slaughter goat. Then when they go, you go and eat the goat or something. So a lot of people have done some of these things, thinking that it would help them, but it has never helped them. Do you understand? So I would encourage everyone who is seeking help from one spiritual house to another pastor's house, to another herbalist house, to another native doctor's house, seek medical attention first. You know that malaria causes some kind of madness. There's a level of malaria. I think, I don't know, some people in the medical field. So imagine someone that has not treated malaria for a while, and it triggers to that level, and it begins to give you some mental disorder. And someone somewhere will think it is a spiritual problem. You did not go to the medical field to gain medical attention. Do you understand? Now you have run to the pastors, you have run to this herbalist, you have run to these spiritual persons, and now you're telling you it's from your family. Your father's brother is pursuing you, and then you have to come with goats and chickens and all of these things. That's another form of mental.
So they're going
disorder.
to take the goats to God.
Do you understand? So a lot of young folks have been impacted dirtily, like dirty. When I mean dirty, real dirty, that you can do a whole lot of diabolic things just to make money, just to have money that you can work for.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And they are living with that idea that without me going to do this thing, you will not make money. Without me working, without me creating, you will not be able to be a millionaire. That is if you've been around some folks who have been in that kind of mental cage, you will understand that these people are soaked. They are mentally deranged. They are in a mental disaster that it only takes the grace of God to pull them out from that kind of shackles. Do you understand? So that's just my bit take on this.
Okay, so first of all, I think people need to understand that when we talk about mental health or mental illness, it's not about people roaming on the streets. It's not a madman or a madwoman roaming on the streets. Mental health is far more than that. It could be anyone. It could be someone close to you. It could be your neighbor. It could be your sister who is beginning to have mental issues, but because you're not able to identify it, a woman or a man who is in a marriage that is so toxic, a marriage where there are fights every day, quarrels every day, issues every day, there's no breathing space anywhere, and you're tired of that home, it could lead to something. It's not even until you start behaving like you're mad. In that marriage, you're already having mental issues because you're beginning to think different things, you're beginning to act in a certain way. It could be children. You're in a family where your parents are so toxic, they behave, maybe they're always fighting, they're always having this one issue or the other. And then you grow up in that space. You realize that child will grow up into an adult, and because you're having flashbacks, you're thinking about so many things. That is a mental situation on its own.
Memories don't go out.
Yes, we need to identify. First of all, we need to identify what these mental issues are. So it's not about a person being roaming on the street, And then I personally believe there's a spiritual angle to this thing, but there's a medical angle to it. When a person runs mad, let's talk about the main mental issue now. When someone runs mad, you see people taking them to prayer houses, taking them to. Yes, it's good to take people to church when there are, issues like this. But sometimes it could just be a simple medical, condition that could be treated. When this kind of a thing happens, you go to a hospital or a psychiatric home, they'll tell you what to do. There are some hospitals you go to, they'll tell you, this one, not traditional, is something you have to, go the other way. Hey, maybe it's a back to sender thing, You can take the person there. But some situations, you don't just take the person to a medical home. They'll treat the person. It's just for us to be able to identify. As Nigerians, we have this mentality that any sickness, there are some people who don't even believe in, say, malaria or fever. Once they say that a child is just shaking like this, they'll start panicking, spiritual attack they've sent. You see, they'll start pointing and say, Holy Ghost fire, Holy Ghost fire. Sometimes it's just natural things happen. It's just a natural thing. It's natural for you to fall ill. Until we're able to understand that you are human, you have blood, flowing through your vein. When you stress too much, you can fall sick. When maybe you do a certain thing, you can fall ill. It's just normal. It's for you to just, rest well, treat yourself, eat the right food, and do the right thing. It's for us to understand that we need to handle situations the right way. I think all along people have been handling these situations the wrong way. When a woman in a marital home, start having maybe one issue or the other, maybe she's even talking to her mother. Maybe her mother, she's never talked to her mother that way, and then her mother just say, so person, you have to go back to your husband's house. And she shouts at her mother, or she gets angry, or she kicks things away and she just leaves. Then they start saying, she's now disobedient, she's now this. No, sometimes it's far beyond that. It's because of, the things she has gone through, and it's just showing in her attitude. Those are some levels of mental illness. It's not until a person is mad. Now, it is for you to treat it the right way. This kind of a woman or a man who has gone through this kind of emotional trauma, who has gone through this kind of toxic relationship, how can you bring her back? How can you see her, treat her the right way? It's just for you to handle that situation the right way. A child who grew up in a toxic home, how do you think you can bring that child out of that toxicity? Treat them the right way. How? It's just for us to be able to identify and handle the situations the right way. And as individuals, there are people who already know these things. They know they are in toxic relationships. They know they are in maybe a particular kind of work. They are working in a place where they in fact, every day, they don't want to go to that work. They don't want to go to that office. In the morning they wake up and they are so, in fact, they are frustrated. They don't want to go there. Some children, it is school. Some children are happy going to school. They want to go to school every day. But some children, every morning they wake up, they don't want to go to school because of a particular teacher. Look, all these things can generate into something. Now it is for us to identify these things and treat them the right way. The one that needs to be taken to church or mosque, please take them there. It is necessary. The one that you should take to the hospital, take them to the hospital. The one that you need to talk sense into, talk to that child, talk to that person. Identify these things and handle them the right way. So it's not about mad people roaming on the street. And the ones that comes from misuse of drugs, abuse of drugs, there are also ways to handle these things. There are ways to treat them. Until we're able to identify and treat them the right way, I think we'll remain in our shallowness.
So, sorry, let me add something before we close.
Yeah.
People need to be cancelled. People need to have counselors. Do you understand? Because it's crazy on how people go through a lot by themselves.
Yeah.
Do you get? So I encourage you to have counselors. Seek for their numbers. Go online. A lot of them, they can speak to you. Then, just like I'll close with this, a lot of persons need positive persons around them, people who will be loved. How about you starting up being the first positive person in your circle? Do you understand? The person that would light up, will be lovable, to share and spread the love, so that people will, have this friendly and warmly advice, positive mindset, positive thinking all the time, and it's going to go a long way. Do not be that person in the midst of a lot of persons that will always make someone go home to cry or something.
Yes.
Do you get? Thank you so much.
Well, I'm agreeing with surrounding yourself with the right people, because that's where emotional intelligence will always come to play.
Yes.
Because like Chacha's husband said something like, he noticed it happens mainly, she gets triggered whenever she becomes pregnant. That's when he goes. So I think that's where he now got to understand that, okay, this is where we need medical intervention and seeking medical help. Let's go on a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay with us. Welcome back. Moving on to our last topic, we will be talking about an important topic, which is letting go of past traumas and embracing forgiveness for personal liberation. We all have gone through different experiences in our lives and have left us with emotional pains and sufferings. Some of them might have been caused by other people, such as death of a loved one, betrayal, abuse, or neglect. Others might have been caused by our own mistakes, that is, maybe making a bad decision or regret from the past. However, the truth is that holding on to these negative experiences, grudges, and resentment will only keep us stuck in the past and prevent us from moving on towards a brighter future. Forgiveness is the key that can unlock the chain of our past traumas and set us free from the burden and pain. When we forgive, we release ourselves from the negative emotions that keep us trapped in the past. So now, Rachel, let's have your take as regards.
Okay, so first of all, I understand that there's no person without a past. Everyone has something they faced, maybe growing up or even as adult. Everyone has a dirty past, a painful past, depending on what has happened. But again, you see, forgiveness, I will always say this, forgiveness is not easy. Sometimes people will say, yes, it's easy, just let go. But when we talk about true and real forgiveness, that is, someone has done something terrible to you and you just let that person go in your heart. Sometimes it's not easy, to do, because when you want to remember some things that has happened, and I think people who say forgiveness is so easy, some of them might have not gone through what you've gone through. But in everything, no matter what it is, no matter how painful, no matter how difficult, no matter how terrible that thing is, it is just normal. Just let it be. Because for me, there's something I've told myself. You see, in this life, there's nothing new under the sun. What I'm seeing that someone has done to me, so there's someone elsewhere who has gone through times 10 of what I've gone through. So far, you're still alive. As far as you're still alive, and you're even doing fine, you're doing well. Even if that person has taken life, maybe a death of a loved one, or that person has done something, just let it go. It is not easy. That is the truth. It is. I'm saying this from personal experience. It is not easy, because there are some things, there are some things that when you hear stories, then you understand what this forgiveness thing is. When you hear people, sometimes when we've not seen, the only things we've heard, we see them as the worst things that might have happened. But when you hear stories, you understand that story past story, and then you start asking, can you really forgive this person? Like, can you ever forgive? But it is for your own good to forgive, because when you forgive, you have this peace in your heart. When you forgive, when you see the person in future, you don't have anything against this person. It is that person who is scared of you. It is that person who is killing themselves wherever they are. Because yes, even the most deadliest person, once they've done something to someone, they might not have conscience. But when you have peace, the trouble is now on their head. But when you don't have peace, you're the one who is now disturbed. You're the one who is in pain. But when you're able to let that pain out, in fact, you should be someone who will tell people stories. You should be someone who will share your experience to people and tell them, say, I've gone through this kind of thing. So, and for me, again, I see this life, everything as vanity. One day, look, we're all humans. Everybody will die, whether you like it or not. So far you're a human being, you will die. And so whether someone has done something to you or someone has not done something to you, you will live this life one day. And so whether you forgive or you do not forgive, you will live this life. Whether anything, whether they took a loved one or they did anything, you will live this life one day. And so this life is not so difficult. Let's not just take things too serious. Let's not carry things on our head, And I need us to understand something. People have done things to you in the past. You should be careful not to do things to people. We as humans, we are always looking back at our past. Kai, this thing pain me. But you're not also watching yourself to be sure and to be careful not to do something to someone. There's something you will do to someone, you might see it as a normal thing, but that person, that person will keep crying every day. Be careful not to do something to someone that when that person remember you for bad. Be careful not to do something to someone. Don't be someone's negative past. That is just the truth. Don't be someone's negative past, because it is not always good. You should be the one who should forgive people. Don't allow people to say, no problem. I understand we're humans, but be careful not to be someone's negative past.
Be the bigger person.
Okay, I'll come to the last part of what you said. But then let me say this. One thing about unforgiveness that makes it weigh people down. I would use the both of us for an example. I did something to you. Now, you are expecting me to come and plead and all. Do you understand? In two scenarios, maybe I did not plead and you have it in mind. And now your whole mind is, because this person has done something bad to me, he's not going to prosper. That forgiveness, that witchcraft
Behavior
will make you watch that person succeed.
Yeah.
And you would keep asking God, why this person is the bad person? Why is he or why is she doing well and I'm not? Because you have something in mind. You are weighing yourself down. So even if I come and I apologize and you still did not forgive and you still, still have that thing in mind. So that is what unforgiveness does to people. Now, talking about making people, remember you for negative things is a very terrible thing. Do you understand? Do not allow people to remember you for negativity. Do you understand? And then again, there are some circumstances that have happened to persons, and it's not a decision. It's not deliberate.
Yeah.
Maybe you're supposed to deliver something to me and you are having serious issues and uncontrollable challenges at that moment, and you might not be able to. And different people with different kind of character, with different kind of behavior, you might not be able to be open a whole lot to say, I'm going through this particular thing right now. Okay, give me some certain times. You might be thinking, okay, let me do this tomorrow, and tomorrow it hits you again, and you not be able to deliver. And you say, okay, I know I promised tomorrow, let me do it the upper week, and you understand. So challenges can knock people off and make other people think that other people are the evil and the devil in the midst. But one thing I've learned in this kind of thing is, no matter what it is, just say the truth. Just tell them
as it is.
It's going to easy. If they want to see you for bad, for saying the truth, they should see you for bad. Whatever thing that they have in mind against you, or even if they have cried and said, this person caused me this, but for saying the truth, God will intervene for you. Either ways, if they go to a diabolic means, they say, oh, this person have done something wrong to me. But for you being clean and saying the truth means that you're pure. You are not doing it deliberately. And God and the earth, the universe, are bearing you witness. So even if the person he or she should go to a babalawo or whatever to do a very deep diabolic thing, it's not going to get to you. One, if you are prayerful, do you understand? If you are just anyhow person, it will get to you. Do you understand? But then, secondly, you should be a peaceful person. You should be a lovable person. You should not be a very hateful person. Do you understand? So stepping on people's toes, a lot of people will, but then just make sure that you are pure, you are clean, that you are not doing what you're doing deliberately, and you are just, maybe it's just circumstances that happened that made you, stepped on people's toes, or maybe did not keep to your words and stuff like
So
that.
I want to quickly add something quickly. I'm one person who is big on integrity. You know, there are times, right? You said something about maybe circumstances. There are times when truly circumstances will, stop you from doing what you were supposed to do at the time, and people will now hate on you because of that. But we should also understand that the way you've been living before matters. It now depends on how people will now rate you. There are people that you've been good. One day you are bad, and maybe you're not able to get through to them. They will be the one now to start saying, this person has never been like this.
Way,
But there are people who you're always, treating people the bad way. The day you want to now do good and maybe circumstances stop you, they will never believe. Even if you present the cleanest evidence, they will never believe you. So it's just for you to just be, like you said, be a peaceful person. Be good. Just be good. Yeah.
If it's about business, your transparency will show that you're a good person.
Yeah.
If it's about having quality in what you do, the quality will speak that you are a good person.
Yes.
It's about delivering. Your delivering will tell. So it just matters that, okay, this person can do this thing, but what is the problem? So when you actually now open up and say the truth, they will know that, okay, this is where the problem is. I forgive you totally. And that kind of forgiveness is a cool one.
Well, so we encourage everyone to reflect on the past traumas that they might be holding on to, and to make a conscious decision to forgive and let go of all the negative emotions associated with them. Remember that forgiveness is a powerful tool that can bring about personal liberation and healing. All right, that's it on today's edition. You already know, talk show where they talk as it be. We'd love to hear from you, so be a part of our community by dropping your opinions in our comment sections. And don't forget to follow all our social media handles displayed on your screen for more exciting episodes of Viewpoints. Do subscribe and turn on the little notification bell on our YouTube channel at Oweleketv. Our website is oweleketv. See you again.